Good evening. This is Constance from Mrs. T Weddings. And as we come to the end of lockdown, we come to the end of lockdown lives, which have been fantastic. We've had some incredible guests over the past few weeks, but don't worry, I'm not going to stop it forever. I'm just going to reduce the amount of lockdown lives we've got. So we're going to go to weekly rather than pretty much daily. So lockdown lives are going to continue, but at a slightly slower rate to give me a chance to get out and about and see my couples. So this evening, very exciting, we're going out with a celebration. So we're thinking about, we've had wonderful news today about Pfizer's vaccine being approved for the UK. So with that in mind, we're clearly ready to party. It's not going to be long. And as soon as we can party, we will be looking at those DJs and entertainers to come and make sure the parties are happening. So this evening, I've got the lovely DJ Mike Readings joining me. Just waiting for him to join the live. And oh, there he is. Brilliant. I'm just going to get him to join me now. And we will have a chat with Mike. This is all about being a wedding DJ. So just waiting for him to join. I think we've got Rachel. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Good. I'm so pleased to have you on as my final guest as part of the lockdown lives. Well, lockdown's finished, so it's a big celebrate. You're the celebration guy, and so what a way to go.
Should have done like an after party or something.
I know. Someone I spoke to earlier was like, "Oh, is he going to be DJing on the live?" I was like, "No, not tonight, but next time."
Opportunity missed.
I'm not quite ready for it. I'd say I am ready, but maybe I'm not. I'm scared. I gotta leave the house. Well, thank you so much. We've got the lovely Rachel who has joined us, saying woohoo, dream team right here. Thank you, Rachel, for connecting us, because she has been amazing.
She's part of that circle as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 100%. So, right, Mike, let's talk all about you being a fabulous DJ. I haven't seen you DJ, so you're going to have to teach me about your style, what you're about. But first of all, huge congratulations on your win at the weekend. Yes. Wedding Industry Awards, East of England DJ of the Year.
I know. Amazing, eh? It was, oh, God. I'm sure you saw the video I posted.
Yeah, the video is brilliant.
Yeah, I was in shock for... Oh my God! Certainly to the next day, I was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
And people say to me, "How was you shocked? Why was you shocked?" And the reason why I was shocked is because last year I got to the final and I was gutted. I didn't even get highly commended, and I wanted to work so hard. And then the winner of last year's East of England then went and won the national.
Oh,
and
wow!
Now that same person was in this year's final.
Oh, really?
So I actually beat.
You beat last year's winner,
national winner as well. So
wow.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's huge! Congratulations.
Yeah, you know what? Everything sort of like all them boxes just seemed to ticked, sooner than I thought. So no, it was all good and
for a DJ this year, I mean, for most of us this year's pretty shit. We can't deny it. But for a DJ especially, it's been pretty crap. Because there aren't big parties, and you're pretty limited in what you can do because you can't interact with your audience in the same way that you used to. Yeah. But to then get something like that to finish the year on such a high must have felt really special.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. And do you know what? It's like such an amazing job, and I suppose you do take it for granted, and it's times like this where I think I'm so lucky to be in the job I'm doing, and now I'm not able to do it. It's horrendous. The whole situation's horrendous.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, good news today.
Exactly.
Pfizer's going to save the world potentially.
Yeah. hopefully. I take every day as it comes.
Yeah.
I've got my hopes up, but.
I was just talking to someone today at one of the wedding venues, and she was saying that things have just gone completely insane from their perspective with people wanting viewings now, because they're like, well, now the vaccine's out, we can actually start planning a bigger wedding. And at the same time, she's like, so my idea of planning and having any idea of continuity of when my business comes in is completely been blown out the water, where normally for the wedding industry, it's January that things go crazy and December's really quiet, whereas suddenly December's like, wow.
Do you know, so last month, November, is the busiest month I've had this year, and the busiest November I've ever had for inquiries.
Yeah.
I've been flooded with them.
Wow.
So like,
that's brilliant.
Considering like the situation, like people are still booking.
Yeah.
And
I've never the same. Yeah.
2023 is just looking really, really good. 2022 is looking awesome. So that's
21
never been
is
the
looking
case.
booked.
yeah, that's done.
We feel like we've all kind of done 21 already. We're like, okay, we're done that.
But you know what the great thing is, like for me, and that's for yourself as well, that there's so many weekday weddings.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for a full-time DJ for me, so used to working at weekends, to get them ones during the week, it's a massive bonus.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes an incredible difference to the income. You know, when you can go and work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday, Monday in some cases next year. I'll be knackered, but it'll be all good.
Yeah, most of my weddings next year are weekdays, actually. Sundays or weekdays.
It's mad, isn't it?
It is. It's really kind of bizarre. And it's going to be really interesting, actually, to see how people hit the dance floor in that respect. Do they take the day off the next day? Or do they stay slightly more reserved? What's going to happen?
It really, there's so many things that go through my head, and they're just weird things, like even to the point where, you know, as a DJ, you do put up with people coming nice and close and, you know, drunk chat.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I bet. It's always the women.
S Club 7 every time.
Never the blokes, always the women. Yeah, are people going to do that? Are they, you know, are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. How are people? And I suppose there's certain things like, you know, I was having a conversation. So I'm very lucky. I've got a wedding coming up in a few weeks where I'm the master of ceremony all day. And they're still going to be doing their first dance. Now, so I'm thinking, are people going to join in? Are people allowed to join in?
They're not allowed.
I don't know. They're not allowed. Exactly. But what happens if they do? Who's going to step in? It's
you?
I ain't stepping in. Can you imagine? So yeah,
you become the police.
I know. No way. I'll be like that. Hey, you do. That's cool. Yeah.
Not on my watch. I don't know
exactly.
what's happening. I'm going to walk out the room. I think it's really, you know, it is going to be really fascinating to see how things change. But the thing that I think we all know is that we're all ready for a massive party. And that is what you obviously are ready for. So let's go back to the beginning. Talk to me a little bit. You know, we haven't met before. You know, we've only ever spoken to each other virtually. So for me, you know, I'm like one of your new customers. Tell me everything. So what got you into DJing?
So I've been DJ for most of my life. I've always been in and around music. Started proper DJing when I was like 16, 17. And I was into all my garage, house. I
was going to say, it's a drum and bass.
That's it, yeah, all that sort of stuff. That's how I started out. And then I went really serious with it when I got married myself. Okay. So we got married ourselves. Although our DJ was good, I just thought it was an awful experience.
Okay.
It was the typical DJ who just turns up and plays the same stuff at every single wedding.
Yeah.
And
so in my head, that's like the Love Actually DJ.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
everyone's worst nightmare.
Yeah, and basically the story, what I tell as many guests as many clients as possible is I tell them that, you know, like, the DJ was good on the night, that's fine, but the bit beforehand was quite stressful because my cousin was going to be singing at the wedding during the night. She was going to do some dance club classics, singing away. I knew the songs she was singing, but to try and communicate them songs to the DJ was a nightmare. So there were certain songs, like me and my wife, we like Lionel Richie. We wanted some Lionel Richie songs playing. I wanted some garage tunes, all that sort of stuff I wanted. And to communicate with the DJ was absolutely nightmare. But on the day, it was great. Yeah. So it was after the wedding, on our way to honeymoon, that I basically turned around and said, I'm going to be a wedding DJ. I can do it so much better. And I set out from that day, which is 14 years ago, that there was going to be some element to it whereby I'd always meet the couple before they book me.
Yeah, perfect.
There will be a plan in place.
Good.
And,
we love a plan.
Yeah, I love a plan. And when I DJ, I'm going to enjoy myself as well, because that was the other thing as well. There's two things. So one, I just felt like the DJ just looked like he was just standing there playing music. There was no like
kind of robot, kind of here we go again. I'm going to play
exactly.
another song.
Yeah. There was that, but so it's a bit naughty now. So I had this fear. My fear was that this big fat bald bloke with sweaty armpits and a glittery jacket was going to turn up and do our wedding. That was my fear. So I always said, by meeting would take away that fear. Now the funny thing is, I thought I was quite unique there. I thought that was just me being a stupid idiot. But the amount of people go, "Oh, I'm so glad you're not the old man who thinks he still knows all the latest hits." Yeah. So that's how it started.
And making really crash jokes on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Women are equal now.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So
you saw a unique side to it that you could kind of come from. Yeah.
And then, so basically, I was working in retail. I was a manager at a car frame warehouse.
Okay.
And I had to make a bit of a mature choice. It got to a point where my rota, I was creating a rota for my staff, and I was basing it around my DJing. And
very selfish.
It got to a point where I just went, you know what, I've got to make a decision here.
Yeah.
And here we are.
There we go. You went full time.
Yeah, about four years ago, I went full time.
Amazing.
And
that's such an achievement. Like, I don't think many people expect, DJs that aren't kind of like international super club DJs to actually be full-time DJs. So to do that is really quite an achievement. And I think it's also really interesting that you decide to specialize in weddings and not have that as an add-on product, because I think that's a really nice angle, because it means that you really do care about what you're delivering rather
100%.
Than it just being another gig.
Yeah, definitely. Now I run another business as well, which is kids discos. So
but that's similar. There's a lot of love in that as well.
Exactly, yeah. So that takes up we had a team of 7. They're all got other jobs temporary at the moment, but so that was combining both together. And basically what happened was June last year we had a rebrand, and we decided to separate them two companies.
Okay.
So you had Disco Factory UK, which focused all on the kids' discos, and then you had DJ Mike Reddings, which focused on the weddings. And my wife took control of Disco Factory UK.
Right.
She looked after that. I looked after the DJ Mike Reddings. And for the past year, because of the rebrand, I've been working hard on just going that little bit further and trying to think outside of the box. And for me, it was all about the opportunity. I kept spotting just so many opportunities out there to be a little bit different, and touch wood, it's all coming together.
Yeah, and it from seeing you from afar, kind of, because we're in the same groups and things, you are a very proactive person, and you're not going to sit there and just say, well, let's see what happens. It's, well, come on, this is what we've got. We got lemons, let's make lemonade. Come on, And I think that's, positive people like working with other positive people, which, I think, most, when you're planning your wedding, you want to be surrounded by the right types of people, and especially someone that's customer facing as such on the day. It's really important that your couples really get to know you and understand who you are, and you're not that weird, sweaty, kind of bald guy behind the decks. Decks, that's an old fashioned. Nobody has decks now.
I do.
Do you?
No, I used to. Controller. It's a controller.
Oh, behind the controller. Doesn't sound interesting. Does it? Let's pretend they're decks. Okay, brilliant. And so tell me about kind of, you talked about the planning. What makes you unique? It's, what is it that you do? Let's go from start to finish. You get an inquiry. Okay. How does it work?
So get an inquiry, and obviously I let them know if I'm available, and then I invite them to a meeting. And I basically explain to people that I am slightly different. So I'm not the typical wedding DJ.
But not that different, right?
No, that's right. Yeah. So, and that's why I explain what I mean by that. So I'm 80% of my work is done before the wedding. Okay. So
that's interesting.
So like I state, and I'm quite confident to say this, the DJing part is really easy for me. I've been doing it a long time.
Controller, right?
you know, it's to stand there and play music. I actually think is quite easy. The hardest part is to read people's minds on the dance floor, is to get them people dancing. So, I talk about relevance. So I will say to people that we got to make sure, and I use we a lot because I basically say we work as a team. So we got to make sure that every single song I play is relevant to your guests. So there's no point me playing a load of 70s and 80s if you know that your guests love dance music or rock music or whatever. We need to concentrate on that. So relevance comes down to a lot of it. And then I talk to them about like the songs they don't like, the artists they don't like. Because I have this fear, and my fear is that a couple, that they're going to give me the old cutthroat during the night, because I'm playing a song that they really don't like. And
have you ever had that?
I've never had that. I've had a groom come up very close to me, and I'll tell you a quick story.
Go on.
So now, bearing in mind, I did have the conversation about the do not play music. Okay, on the night, a guy come up to me and he said to me, "Mate, can you play Sweet Caroline?" Of course, it's a great sing along. Everyone loves it. Arms in the air, puts it on, and the atmosphere just went. Everyone just stopped, turned, and stared at me. So I was like, something's not right here. Quickly, I changed the song. Change the song quickly. Bosh. I thought, something not right. I'm going to forget about it and move on. With that, the groom didn't come running, but he come at a fair pace towards me, and he was like, "What the you doing?" And I was like, "Hold up!" And he went, "Sweet Caroline, why did you?" He said, "What? Is it a mistake?" And I went, "I have no idea what you're going on about." And he said, "My ex-wife is called Caroline, right?" So I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And he said, "Oh, did someone request that?" And I said, "Yeah, the gentleman in a navy jacket over there." And he was like, "That's my brother."
He's messing with him.
He literally went and got his brother by the scruff of the neck. Literally threw him outside. His brother absolutely stitched him up. Stitched me up as well.
Yeah, he did stitch you up.
So again, I use that example quite a lot to people because there's certain songs which obviously you might not like. It might make you cringe or anything, but there's also bad memories associated with songs. So I think that's really important as well. I talk to a lot of people about, I want to give everyone in the room the opportunity to dance. It doesn't matter if it's your nan, doesn't matter if it's your auntie, your brother, your best man. Everyone's
some of the best moments. The people you least expect to dance, when they get up on a dance floor, those are the happiest moments.
Absolutely, yeah. So we go through that. So I put a plan together. So I talk a lot about my plan. So the plan is all about me making sure that on the night, everything is absolutely perfect. There's two sayings I say. I want every guest to, I want guests to either go away thinking, we want to do that at our wedding, or I wish we'd done that at our wedding. That's what I want people to think. And I want that wedding to be like, the wedding reception, I want that to be like the best we can get it. So the plan is all about, it's quite a lot about timing. So I'm a massive believer in timings. Timings for me is so
my
important.
Timeline is my everything. I'm
Absolutely.
with you.
Yeah. So I'll walk you through the night. So typical. So obviously grand entrance to the wedding reception. We talk about what song they choose, at what point of the song. Normally they come in with about 5 seconds into the song during on the drop. And then they walk in, everyone gives them a big cheer. But while they're outside, I'm hyping the guests up. So when they come in, they get goosebumps because everyone's going crazy. So they walk in and then they normally go straight to their cake. They cut their cake, everyone gives them a big cheer, and then they walk to the dance floor. So they walk to the dance floor and they do their first dance. So I'm going to plan with them at what point during that first dance do I ask their guests to join them in. Normally I find a break of a song where it's just instrumental, which is normally about 1 minute 20. Invite the guests on, at the end of the song, big cheer, and then we either do the father-daughter dance or we go straight into the party. Now I always explain to people that at that point it's like the golden moment, because every single person's on the dance floor because they've joined in. So if I play a really good song which is relevant to them, everyone's just going to naturally start dancing, and that's going to eliminate the whole, I don't want to be the first one on the dance floor, etc., etc. So by playing a really good song, that should start the party off.
Yeah.
Then evening reception food. I talk to the couple about that, and we talk about what's more important to them, the food or a full dance floor. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying food.
There's because you can have a lull, and then it's about bringing it back, right?
However, I would say about 80% of couples that I speak to say that the dance floor is more important.
Yeah.
Which it surprises me because the food costs an absolute fortune.
I know.
Crazy.
At least the evening food's not quite so punchy in general, but.
So then what I say to them, so if the dancing is really important to you, how can we stop your guests all going smelling them bacon sandwiches or that hog roast? So then I'll start giving them a few ideas, like, speak to the venue, see if you can get the staff to just serve it to the dance floor. Bring that food to the
dance floor. Exactly.
Let's not pull people outside. Let's keep it all nice and compact. And then we talk about we talk about the power hour. So it's something a little bit unique to me. So I have this thing called the power hour, which is normally about 10 o'clock. And it's basically where, if you can imagine, everyone's having the best time ever. Amazing time. Cool. How do we take it to the next level? And that's, again, it all comes down to relevance. So I will say to a couple, what can we do for 1 hour, which is absolutely everyone's going to think, oh my God, this is amazing. And a lot of people choose like Kistry hour. I've had people choose like a rock hour.
I want a Kistry hour right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's do it. Rock hour, where we get loads of inflatable guitars and we just launch them out. We put Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, all that sort of stuff on. I've done a rave before where we got loads of whistles. So I
glow sticks.
That's it. And we literally, for the last hour, we just done this massive rave, and everyone, we had like 50 whistles I threw out. So imagine 50 people whistles. There's bar staff are covering their ears.
I'd be like, let me out of here.
That's it. Yeah, it was the best. I must admit, it was amazing. That was. I've had I haven't done it yet, but I've got a bride who wants uni. She wants to do 1 hour of her uni days because there's loads of people at the wedding, which were at the uni where they met. So again, talking about relevance, we're going to choose 1 hour's worth of songs that literally everyone who went to the uni would just relate to after and over and over.
You look for all the ones that Students' Union would have been pumping out every single Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
And then after that, we plan for the last 3 songs. So again, this is something unique for me. So I say to the couple, look, for the last 3 songs, you're going to choose the last 3 songs.
Okay.
I'll help you. But about 20 to 12 or 20 to 1, I'm going to announce that, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we have come to this amazing day. Everyone's going to probably boo. There might be a few swear words. But I'm going to then say, however, so-and-so and so-and-so have chosen the last 3 songs. So I need every single person to this dance floor. For this to work, everyone in the middle. And then I'll play the 3 songs. Now, the 3 songs basically will be the sort of songs where either your arms go in the air, you smile, and everyone knows the words. So things like Queen, Don't Stop Now. Yeah, Mr. Brightside. You've got...
we definitely had that at our wedding.
Obviously banging tune. Take That, Never Forget, Wonderwall, Sweet Caroline. All that sort of stuff.
Where everyone knows the words and everyone's hugging and going for it together.
Yeah, and then the final thing I asked them to plan is the one more song. So I will say every single wedding, people always ask for one more song. So between us 3, let's choose a really good. It's going to send everyone absolutely insane. And it could be things like Jump Around, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Out Here Brothers, Boom Boom Boom, Mr. Brightside again.
S Club 7 Reach, does that one ever get chosen?
Yeah. That's on the list.
I'd go for that, I think.
Peter Andre, Mysterious Girl gets chosen quite a lot.
Oh, no. That's had its day, guys. Get over it.
That's it, so I plan all of that. And then what I then do is with that plan I put together, I obviously send a copy to the couple, but then I send that copy to the photographer, I send it to the videographer, I send it to the venue, I introduce myself, I give everyone a copy of it. Perfect. And I say, this is what we're going to be doing. Rachel loves a bit of Peter Andre.
Do you reckon that was her last song?
Definitely. Her first dance. What else I do? So yeah, and then
Brilliant. So you are super organized, you're super on the ball, you make it really personal to your couples, and you make sure that the party doesn't stop. But if it does, it's because you've had a, it doesn't stop, but there's just a bit of a lull and you bring it back afterwards. So I think, you're kind of working, Rich saying guilty pleasure, feel guilty, Rachel. So I think, it's really important because, quite a lot of couples get quite anxious about the dance floor not being full. And you're doing so many proactive measures to make sure that doesn't happen, that it does remain full and that there's a real you see that as your job, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I take it personal. If the dance floor is not full, I take it personal. I really do. And sometimes you have to accept it, you know, and that's normally because it's either too hot in the room or they've got this amazing barbecue outside. And I just think, God, you're paying me all this money and I'm just playing to like 4 people. But it's something you just got to accept that,
Yeah, you do. It's true. Or probably the other thing that, I mean, maybe not so much nowadays, but if everyone smokes, then everyone goes out and I've been to so many weddings where everyone just congregates in smoking circles outside. You're like, come on, guys, all the entertainment's inside.
What are you doing?
Exactly, killing yourselves and not having fun. This is ridiculous. So you've just spoken about rooms getting too hot and things, and that is, and that's quite frequently a problem. What are your you're based in Hertfordshire, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
So, but you travel around pretty much?
Yeah, so I pretty much base myself in Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire and Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it's wherever takes me.
Yeah. So name some of your favourite venues around for DJing in.
Okay. Favourite venue, so Milling Barn is probably my favourite. They're highly recommended DJ, so I do quite a lot of my work there. Hatfield House, I love the size of it, amazing venue. The Priory in Little Wyman-Lee as well, another nice one, nice and big.
Yeah.
Fanham's Hall, I really like Fanham's Hall.
Fanham's is nice.
Where else? Dare I say Shing Mill as well? Shing Mill is quite nice. The ceilings are quite low, so the atmosphere really.
You get that buzz.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the architecture of the room really makes a difference, doesn't it, as to how buzzy the party is. Because if it's a bit kind of empty and a bit kind of, I don't know, echoey, you're not going to get that same intimacy of everyone feeling confident to get on the dance floor and fool around being silly.
Do you know, one of the biggest pains as a DJ is when the bar's in another room.
Yes.
And that's a killer. That's an absolute killer, especially when it's like, there are certain venues. Actually, I'll tell you a good example, Offley Place.
Oh, yeah,
so Offley Place is like, bar is like out, around, down and in. It's so like, to actually, you lose people quite a lot in that place, but then they've now got the big hall, bit different. Bar 100% can have a big difference.
It's quite funny you say that. On my wedding day, our bar was in a separate room. Well, it was just around the corner from where the band were playing and DJ. And at about 10 o'clock, I mean, my husband quote from the wedding day was he spent the whole day looking for his wife, because I saw like having so much fun with all my friends, Anyway, we finally saw each other at about 10 p.m. and we were like, oh, let's go and get a drink. Neither of us really felt drunk, and a lot of brides and grooms find that, right? You don't actually get that drunk on your wedding day for some reason. And it's your adrenaline, it's you putting every drink down that you start drinking. So we go up to the bar and we didn't really know what time it was, and we were like, why isn't there anyone here? And we said to the barman, we were like, have you closed or something? And they were like, no, just nobody's here. And we had a free bar all night, so you would have thought it was full. And then we looked through to where everyone, to the dance floor, and it's heaving because they were having so much fun. Nobody was at the bar, which I mean was a blessing for me. But it was a really good sign. And I think that's big. What you're saying is, you've got to read the audience and really figure out what they're going to respond well to keep them on that dance floor and not distracted to go to the other thing.
The answer's in the room, and I say that to couples all the time. You know the answer. I don't know none of your guests. I know what songs to play. Generally I will know, but before I go into that mode, that autopilot, I want to be able to know exactly that your friends love S Club 7.
Perfect example.
Love Kistry, love bass, all that sort of stuff. If they tell me that, then oh my god, that's like gold to me. I can go,
exactly.
And then it's so funny because when I meet couples like virtually or at their house, and they tell me something, oh, my guests love garage, and I just start playing garage tunes off my laptop, and they're like, oh my god, yes, definitely that one, yeah,
so
definitely
excited.
and by the end of the meeting they're like, oh my god, you know, can you stay for a bit longer?
Yeah. We'll crack open another bottle of wine.
That's it. Yeah.
That's brilliant. And so tell me, what is your favorite song to play?
So favorite song to play, I suppose,
at a wedding.
So yeah, at a wedding, probably Robin S. Show Me Love. Just like Mr. Brightside, people run to the dance floor. There are certain songs that people do literally run to the dance floor to dance to. And
it's that kind of song where you grab your best mate, go, come on, we're going to dance with it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I always say to a lot of couples as well that people need to respond to the first 3 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
So, you know, and Mr. Brightside and Robin S., both of them, 100%.
They've got that intro.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone knows them. Everyone straight away turns, head, go.
Yeah, you make that eye contact with your friend. You're like, we're on.
But then what about? That's why we have playlists. You know, because the playlists are just literally them songs on a list. You know, my playlists aren't that big because they're the golden nuggets. That I'm ready to just go bosh as soon as it's ready to play. Yeah.
Most popular first dance request song?
Do you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit difficult here, and I'm gonna say that there isn't one, because
there isn't.
No, because everyone was dancing to Ed Sheeran Perfect. Yeah, like everyone was. Yeah, but then everyone stopped dancing to Ed Sheeran Perfect because it was being used by everyone, and there's been nothing since then that everyone
has congregated.
There's no trend, I suppose. Yeah, and I must admit, in the past 2 years, I've seen some fantastic songs that some of them I haven't even come across before. Yeah. And I think Spotify has played a massive difference. Yeah, because people are finding songs now. Like, I've got them myself. I've got loads of Spotify playlists for people to look at of first dance songs. And brilliant. If you can imagine, if you just go on Spotify and type in first dance at a wedding, there's thousands of playlists for you to look through. So there's, you know, it's no longer that song we met to. I don't really come across that no more. No,
and I think it's really important. You'll help the couples figure that out as well. What's a good first dance song? Because that's something that a lot of couples have anxiety about. They're like, well, I know I like this, but who really like that? And you know, for me and my husband, we have very different musical tastes. You know, and so to find something we both really liked took a lot of work. It was kind of like, right, let's open a bottle of wine on a Saturday night, have a nice dinner, and then let's go for it and see what we both smile to and really enjoy, and then let's practice dancing to it in the living room with the dog looking at us like we're bonkers. You know, I think that, you know, that's cute, but if you can have someone give you a bit of advice and kind of, because you've got to know the couple by this point and really help them, I think that's fabulous as well. It takes a bit of anxiety away from the couple.
I think couples love to know what other people have chosen as well, and that's what all my playlists are about. You know, I can say to them, these are the last 20 weddings I've done. These are their first dances. Brilliant. Have a listen.
Yeah, that's so useful. Brilliant. And final question: what's the most outrageous thing you've seen happen on the dance floor?
I've seen someone have a poo before on a dance floor.
Oh, good Lord, that is disgusting.
No, I didn't see it, but it did happen.
It happened.
Yeah. So basically,
that is very bad.
Yeah. Now, how does that happen?
I don't want to know.
So exactly. So now I was doing a little investigation at that point, trying to work out who it could be, and there was someone wearing a kilt there, which a lot of people were pointing to. Yeah. And
that is horrendous.
Yeah, but there were some people in dresses as well. But I think they got a £70 cleaning charge the day after, because staff had to clean it. No one would touch it.
Well, no. I mean, I hope that never happens at one of my weddings.
Can you imagine? No. And do you know what? Right? It was a good wedding as well. You'd never expected it at this wedding.
Right. Yeah.
But do you know what? Generally, it could have been a mistake. It could have just slipped. Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I just hope it was a kid that had a little accident.
I found someone asleep once.
Oh no.
We'd all packed up. And at Million Barn, there's seats
The mezzanine upstairs.
Yeah, and some bloke just like gets up, like, what are you doing here? Everyone's gone. And then he just wandered off, and no one knew where he went. Like,
and that's not really in the middle of anywhere.
Yeah, you ain't going anywhere. So I was a bit worried. I was driving home thinking, I'm going to come across this bloke in a minute.
Don't want to hit him on one of those little bends.
That's it, yeah. So,
goodness, wow. Okay. Well, you see everything from where you're stood at the wedding, that's for sure. And I think, you know, you do lots of really fun other things as well that you can tell your couples about when you're with them. I'm just aware of time. But before you go, tell us about your new entertainment guide.
Yeah. Just so happens I've got one.
As if we planned it.
Okay, so this is just something I've done a little bit different. I was trying to think outside of the box when lockdown first happened. Actually, no, it wasn't by lockdown. It was just before lockdown.
Right.
Come up with an idea that, and it was, I suppose, that I was trying to look at it from a business perspective and a couple's perspective.
Yeah.
And I sort of like worked out that when a couple goes to a venue, they bombard the person who's walking around with loads of questions. And quite often they go home and they don't have any questions. They have loads of questions they've got to ask.
Yeah.
And the venue normally give them a load of business cards, or they pick some leaflets up off a table. And I thought, how can I take advantage of these couples who are there when I'm not?
Yeah.
So I got talking to a Hatfield House coordinator, Perry, and she was telling me that it's actually something it's quite frustrating when the couple asks you a question about the size of the dance floor. Oh, what size dance floor should we get? She just don't know. So I decided to come up, and I had a guide made. And basically, it's just full of FAQs.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's basically just
entertainment questions.
Yeah, it's about the wedding DJ, about a saxophone.
Yeah. About
master of ceremony.
Brilliant.
Everything, even dance floors, everything, and packages, and it's just something that people can refer to.
A little takeaway that they can look at.
Yeah, and it's just the sort of questions what you know. People always ask me about sound limiters.
Yeah.
So Million Barn is one of them
big
venues.
Thing. Yeah,
it's a massive thing, but no one has a clue what it is. So I've just inside there, you know.
Because people get told pretty much every venue has a sound limiter on it, and everyone is a different number. And so, like, well, is that good or is that bad? Do I need to worry about that? You know, and you've got nothing to base it against because you're not working in that industry normally. You're not thinking about decibels any other time in your life. And so to be given a number, you're kind of like, I don't know. Is my party going to be fun, or is it going to be like a chapel? Like, I have no idea. So that's really useful. Yeah. And as you said, the size of dance floor, and you can do the master of ceremony piece as well.
Yeah, I'm there all day. Do the master of ceremony, make all the announcements, obviously play music.
Yeah.
Do activities so people don't get bored. And
that sounds ominous.
yeah.
Suddenly become the kids' entertainer.
Yeah. But, you know, do you know what it's like when you're at a wedding and people are like, oh, you know, when's the food? You know, they're all sitting around and all that sort of stuff. And it's quite a long day. And I think
it is.
For me, it's just, all I want to do is just make sure everyone's having a good time. That's, you know, and if that means music, talking to people, keeping things flowing, you know, that's my job. And
brilliant.
I enjoy doing it.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Well, look, Mike, if anyone wants to get in touch with you after this, how do they get in touch with you?
DJ Mike Reddings. So website is djmikereddings.co.uk. Instagram is DJ_Mike_Reddings.
Brilliant. Thank you. And you manage your own Instagram, so if they drop your DM, you're going to be the person they hear from in response?
100%. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's only me.
Good. And well, thank you so much for your time today. And as it's the end of our lockdown lives, I need to say a massive thank you to Hannah, who is my lovely assistant, who has organised pretty much all of these for me, and she has just been outstanding. So a huge thank you to Hannah, and to all of the fabulous suppliers that we've had. It has been incredible. So thank you. Enjoy your freedom if you're in a zone that allows you some freedom. And thank you, Mike. You've been fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. Yep.
No worries. Bye. Bye.